Every time you were kind. Every time you were careless. Every single moment that made them feel something. It's all still there, stored somewhere deep behind those quiet, unblinking eyes. What if I told you that your cat hasn't forgotten a single important thing that ever happened between you two? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover might completely change the way you see your cat forever. Number 1, they never forgot the first gentle touch. Your cat's most critical window, the moment their entire personality gets shaped, is just 2 to 7 weeks of age. During this tiny stretch of time, their brain is wide open, like a sponge dropped in water. Whatever happens during these weeks gets permanently recorded. A kitten touched gently, spoken to softly, played with carefully. That kitten grows up believing humans are safe. That hands don't hurt. That closeness is okay. But a kitten ignored or frightened during this window? That cat may spend years trying to unlearn a lesson learned in just a few days. Years. From 1 week of memory, if you were the first person to ever be truly gentle with your cat, they haven't forgotten. They never will. That moment is written into who they are. Number 2, they never forgot who rescued them. Think about the moment your cat came into your life. A shelter, a cold street corner, a cardboard box someone left outside. You reached out. You chose them. Now, cats don't experience gratitude the way we do. They don't think in words or sentences, but they operate on something older, deeper, and more powerful than logic: emotional memory. Animal cognition research shows that cats don't just store experiences as events, they store them as feelings. And that feeling of going from cold and frightened and alone to warm and safe and seen, that feeling doesn't disappear. It settles into their nervous system. It becomes part of their identity. That's why rescue cats so often become the most loyal, the most watchful, the most quietly devoted companions. It's not a coincidence. It's memory. It's gratitude expressed in the only language they have: staying close. Number 3, they never forgot the sound of your voice. Think about the voice you use with your cat. Softer than normal? A little higher? Full of warmth and ridiculous words they couldn't possibly understand. Embarrassing, honestly. And yet, they respond. Ears rotate, eyes soften. Their whole body just settles. Why? Because your cat has memorized the exact sound of your safety. A study from the University of Tokyo proved that cats can recognize their owner's voice, separating it clearly from strangers, even when they choose not to visibly react. Which means right now, if you called your cat's name from another room, they know it's you. They know your laugh, your frustrated sigh, the way your voice drops when you're sad, the voice that spoke to them softly on a bad night, the voice that called them for breakfast 1,000 mornings in a row. Every note of it is stored. Every single one. Number 4, they never forgot who was there when they were scared. Cats remember fear with remarkable precision. Their amygdala, the brain structure that processes emotional memory, works almost identically to ours, which means when something frightened them, a loud noise, a rough hand, an unpredictable environment, they didn't just experience it, they encoded it. And those encodings don't erase easily. That's why some cats flinch at raised hands, even gentle ones. Why some cats vanish at certain voices. Why a cat who was hurt in a specific context may never fully relax in that context again. This isn't stubbornness. This is survival wisdom written in pain. But here's the other side. The side that genuinely gives me chills. They also encoded who was there when it happened. If you held your cat through a thunderstorm, if you stayed calm at the vet when they were trembling, if you were the stillness in the middle of their chaos, that's recorded too. Every time they come to you specifically when something scares them, that's the memory talking. That's them saying, you were safe then. You're still safe now. Number 5, they never forgot the life you built together. Your cat's internal clock is tuned to a precision that would embarrass most alarm systems. They know what time you wake up, when dinner is coming, the sound of your keys, before you've even opened the door. But it's more than just knowing. They need it. Routine, for a cat, is not monotony. Routine is safety. Every morning you fed them at the same time. Every evening you settled into the same chair. Every night you moved through the same quiet patterns. You were building something, a shared world they could count on. And when that world breaks, when you travel, when your schedule shifts, when something disrupts the rhythm, watch your cat. The searching, the unsettled pacing, the confusion, that's not drama. That's a creature whose memory of how things are supposed to be is suddenly painfully out of sync with reality. You are written into their routine. You are part of the routine. And they have never forgotten the version of life where you were always there. Number 6, they never forgot the people who hurt them. Cats remember cruelty, not out of spite, not to hold a grudge, but out of pure ancient survival instinct. If a cat was mishandled, punished harshly, or deliberately frightened, their brain does something immediate and automatic. It catalogs the experience. It creates an association. This type of movement, this tone of voice, this kind of unpredictability, it means danger. Run. Disappear. Never trust. And that association doesn't just fade with time, it lives. It shapes behavior for years, sometimes for a lifetime. It's why some cats freeze at raised hands even when no harm is meant. Why some cats bolt from certain people who've done nothing wrong. It's not attitude. It's not rudeness. It's hard-earned wisdom. And if you've ever taken in a cat with a history of trauma and felt them slowly, painfully, over months or years, begin to trust you, you are witnessing something extraordinary. You are watching a living creature decide, against everything their memory is telling them, to try again. Please never take that lightly. Number 7, they never forgot the ones who left. Cats grieve. It took science a long time to say it plainly, but the evidence is now undeniable. When someone they loved disappears, a person, another animal, a familiar presence, something in a cat visibly shifts. They search the house. They sit in places still holding a familiar scent. Food becomes uninteresting. The light behind their eyes dims just slightly. What's happening inside that small, extraordinary brain is a collision between memory and absence. Their mind holds a blueprint, a detailed map of how life was supposed to feel, and reality keeps refusing to match it. The ASPCA has documented that cats display mourning behaviors strikingly similar to human grief after the loss of a companion and the loss of a person they loved. That bond wasn't casual. It was built across thousands of shared mornings, thousands of quiet evenings, thousands of tiny, unremarkable moments that turned out to be irreplaceable. When that person is gone, a cat doesn't just miss them, they remember them. In scent, in habit, in the shape of a silence that nothing else fills. Number 8, they never forgot that you chose each other. Out of every corner of the world, out of every possible life that could have unfolded, you and your cat ended up together. And your cat, this quiet, ancient-souled, complicated little creature, made a choice. Not a dramatic one, not announced with fanfare, but a real one. The first time they pressed their head against your hand, the first time they slept near you instead of away, the first time they brought you something, a toy, a catch, some completely inexplicable offering, because somewhere in their understanding of the world, you had become worth showing things to. Every single day your cat chooses to be near you is a day they are remembering every reason they trust you. The gentleness, the safety, the voice, the routine, the times you stayed when you could have left. Your cat carries all of that, quietly, without ceremony, without a single word, in the way they watch you from across the room, in the way they find you, specifically you, when the world gets too loud. They never forgot that you made them feel at home. And honestly, that's worth remembering too.